Hello there, this is Chad Garber, and I'm going to do another guitar lesson video. This time I'm going to do a guitar lesson for beginners, and like I talked about earlier, I think one of the best ways to learn how to play guitar is to learn. I'm going to move this camera over just a little bit because it's bugging me. But the best way to learn, one of the best ways, or one of the essential ways to learn how to play guitar is to learn songs. And since you guys are, if you're beginners, you're just starting out, today I'm going to show you how to play the beginning of Iron Man. Sounds like this. So that's a lot of fun. That's a fun one. That's one of the first songs I learned. That's one of the first rock songs most people learn. And so the first thing you need to know though is to do it, you have to do a bar chord, not even a bar chord. You're basically doing two notes together. The simplest chord you can have is two notes, right? And so what I'm doing is I'll just go ahead and tell you what the first chord is, and then I'll explain the chord. So you're basically going to put your pointer finger on the 5th fret, the pointer finger on the 2nd fret of the 2nd string, on the A string. Then you're going to take your ring finger and put it on the 4th fret of the 3rd string down, or the D string. These two. And that is a chord, but the truth is, if you can do that chord, now that you can do it on the A and the D, and you can also do the same chord on the E and the A. Like if you put this is not part of the Iron Man song, but this is just for your information. You know, to do that chord, and there's a video. I'll link the video up here that I talk about this, basic chord, rock chord, power chord. I call it power chord. So you can, right here, you can check it out. I would recommend you checking that out. But but the other chord, these chords can be done on either the E and the A and the A and the D theoretically. You can actually do it on the next, the 4th or the D and the G together as well. But again, so on the low E and A, you put your pointer finger on the 2nd fret of the low E of the 1st string, and then you put your pinky or ring finger on the 4th fret of the A string. And then you can just slide that chord up, But it's the same thing back down, back to the song. First, we're on your pointer finger on the 2nd fret of the A string, your ring finger on the 4th fret of the D string, and you hit you strum just those two strings, nothing more. And so then you could just slide that chord all over the place. And like I was saying, if you can learn that one chord and slide those chords on these two the 4 strings, you'll be able to learn just about so many rock songs that are out there. So many rock songs use that as their primary chords. And so when you go back to listen to a song to try to figure it out, if it's a rock song and you can kind of hear that, you can go back, you can kind of start with that in mind and then kind of go to wherever you feel it is. But anyway, back to Iron Man. So that's the first chord. So you hit those two strings together, and you gotta not hit the other ones. So you might, if you're just starting out, you might just want to practice it for a while. And if you're on an acoustic, it'll be even more difficult to get it right. But it's not difficult. You just got to get used to it. And I'd recommend putting your fingers on there, and then take your fingers off and see how fast you can put your fingers back on there. Okay, so that's the first chord. The next one, you're going to take that exact same chord and you're going to slide it up to the 5th fret on the A string. So you're going to put your pointer finger on the 5th fret of the A string, and then your ring finger on the 7th fret of the D string. And just hit those two strings. You're going to move the chord up to the 7th fret. You're going to have your pointer finger on the 7th fret of the A string, and your ring finger on the 7th fret of the D string. Actually, I'm sorry. You hit that second chord twice. So you pick down one, go to the 5th fret, and then hit that again. And when you hit that second one, you're going to actually, while it's still playing, you're going to slide it up to that 7th fret. So you'll have your pointer finger on the 7th fret, and your ring finger on the ring finger on the 7th, 9th fret of the D string. So it's slide up once, so you pick, slide up, pick again. So that's a really important, that'll probably be a little bit challenging at first to get that right, but that's a very important part of the song. Stroke down once, back down once. Then you're going to take that same chord progression and you're going to put it up the 10th fret of the A string, pointer finger, then you're going to put your ring finger on the 12th fret of the D string. Here it is from the top. Slide it down one fret to where your pointer finger is on the 9th fret of the A string and your ring finger is on the 11th fret of the D string. So you're going to pick once on that first one, you're going to slide down to that one fret down, and then you're going to do that again. So you're going to do that 3 times, actually. And then after you do that, then you're going to go back to the 5th fret with your pointer fingers on the 5th fret of the A string and your ring fingers on the 7th fret of the D string. Hit that twice. And slide that up to the 9th fret, slide it up to where your pointer finger is on the 7th fret of the A string and the 9th fret of the D string. And you're going to slide it up and then pick it again. So that's kind of the theme of this little lick. It's actually like you do a slide and a pick. You pick, slide, pick, slide. That's what kind of makes the song unique, you know. So again, here's it slowly. And watch when I'm doing this, watch my right hand. I'm trying to make it more so you can see it. So it'll sound like I just did. So anyway, so here's full speed. And so I imagine this part will be a little difficult at first. And what you can do is if you have problems with that part, especially if you're on an acoustic, it's going to be difficult. I would recommend getting an electric guitar if you can. You can do it on the acoustic, but it's just going to be a little more difficult. But on the what you can do is just work on that part, like for I don't know, for a long time. Just keep on going. All I'm doing is I'm doing that lick. I'm doing it continuously. I'm looping it so that I can get better at it. You know, so that's what you can do to get better at it. can't do it that fast, you can get a metronome and you know, go slower. You just go as slow as you possibly need. I mean, go as slow as you can to make sure you can do it right and solid. It doesn't matter how slow, even if it's like. It doesn't matter. It might be discouraging, or you might think that I'm never going to be able to go like if I'm just going. But you will. You will. It's how your body learns things, how your brain and your muscles together work, and how they learn how to play guitar or learn how to play things. It's like you repeat it at a slow speed. You commit it. You basically commit it to your muscle memory. I don't think it's say muscle memory. I always say that. I always have a problem with that because your muscles aren't really remembering it, but it's your brain is remembering it and almost going into automatic pilot. It puts it into automatic pilot. So once you get it down slow, then you can just kind of speed it up, and eventually you're not even thinking about it. But the way I still learn to play stuff now, I'm still learning licks that I have to go really slow at first to get my brain to seal it, to imprint it in my brain, so I don't have to keep on thinking about it. And so don't be discouraged if you can only go slow, but just be consistent. The key is to get that sound. The goal is to get the sound that you're strumming you're picking once, then you're sliding, and you're keeping the chord going. Some people will try to do it like this. And you can do that. It sounds good if you can do it, but to me, it's a little more. I mean, maybe that's the right way to do it. But now, to me, you start losing it, and so that's why I like picking down. So that's that part. Now here's the cool thing. Here's something. When I first learned this song, I didn't learn this next part, and this is kind of a cool thing. And I'm not going to teach it the whole song because I think the rest of it, some of the song is kind of harder, you know. But when I first learned this song, that's all I did. And then if I keep on playing it over and over. Here's something I didn't learn. This is kind of cool. On the because that's how that song starts out. But on the verses, when Nazi is actually singing, all it does is this. I usually do it like this. So you can't do this. And all I'm doing is doing the exact same thing I did without the chord, without the second chord. You're just doing the note, just what your pointer finger is doing. The pointer finger on the 5th fret, or the 2nd fret of the A string. Slide it up to the 7th fret of the A string. To the 5th fret of the A string, to the 7th fret of the A string, to the 10th and 9th fret. In other words, it's exactly the same thing, except we're just using the fingers. So the first part, when it first starts doing it on the song, is. Yeah, no, sometimes I'll rush down there and miss that second chord. The second part is. It does a little bit of vibrato if you can do that, but basically just. So that's cool. And another thing we can talk about real quick, if you are a beginner, you know, for the longest time, my brother played guitar. He started out before I did, and he would be playing stuff like this, without the effects though. And I would always asking myself, where's the? I couldn't explain it because I didn't know what it was, but I was like, where's that? Where's the? But I don't remember how I explained it, but I said it doesn't sound like it's supposed to. And then eventually I learned that was because of distortion. Distortion is the stuff that makes these songs sound really cool. And and most amps have some distortion in it. That sound it's called distortion or overdrive. Sometimes you call it overdrive, but it's distortion where it makes the chord sound like that. It's like overdrive. It's like they got it from when they had the amps really loud and it was overdrive and sound kind of distorted. That's how they got it, but they got it to it sounded really cool. And now the distortion is part of the of guitar arsenal. But that's what this song requires: distortion, to play it the way it sounds, like that. And the difference between this and this is pretty significant. And so that's the video. If you like this video, if you could hit the thumbs up. If you don't like the video, hit the thumbs down and tell me what in the world, and I can do better. What in the world? I mean, it's not, you can ask me questions like, what in the world are you doing? Why do you even play guitar? No. But if you do have any requests, feel free to comment there. If there's any kind of request you want to learn, like any kind of songs that you want to learn. If you're a beginner, that would be great. Also, if you want to see more of these and if you want to see notifications whenever I make a new video, you can always consider subscribing, hitting that subscribe button. And then there's also a little bell next to it. You hit that as well, and that way you'll get every notification. Every time I put up a video, you'll get a notification. And so that's pretty much it. I don't think there's anything else I could, and I could have a second, by the way, I might do a second part of this where I teach you the rest of the song. But I think for very, very beginners, this will be a pretty significant learning thing, and this will help you get learn many songs. Like there's so many songs that use this chord. Like, when I say this chord, I meant the power chords. So that's another one I could do. There's so many songs. So anyway, so thank you so much for watching, and have a good day.